Hello everyone and welcome back to Coach Craig's Sports. Today is Monday, June 27th, and this is the MLB DFS video for today. So in today's video, we'll be doing a recap of yesterday's picks, seeing how they turned out, talking about my core picks for today for the FanDuel main slate. Is a 9-game main slate overall, and then going over to my article over at WeBetATS.com and talking about my top GPP stacks for today. But without further ado, we'll get started with the recap of yesterday's picks. At the pitcher position, we had Shane McClanahan for the Tampa Bay Rays, $11,400, obviously the most expensive pitcher on the slate, and in about half of the people's lineups yesterday. It was a great matchup, got to 58 points, so he is a hit. He ended up being the second overall pitcher on the slate. Only Dylan Cease was above him due to a high strikeout total. Then at first base, we had Seth Brown. You could also play him in the outfield. $2,500, got to 24.7 points. He was a hit. Third overall first baseman on yesterday's slate, so a very good play overall. Then we had some unfortunate plays in our Toronto Blue Jays and Matt Chapman, $2,900, got to 0 points. He was 0 for 3. And then Lourdes Gurriel as well, $2,900, 0 points and 0 for 3 as well. Looked like a pretty good matchup against Chichi Gonzalez. Didn't end up panning out for them yesterday. Their team only scored 3 runs in total. And then last but not least, at shortstop, we had Ahmed Rosario, $2,700, got to 6.2 points, so he was a push. So not the greatest day overall yesterday, if we're being completely honest. Pitcher we nailed. First base was good, but you kind of need some other decent plays yesterday in order to cash. But you're going to have that sometimes with MLB DFS. Things are going to look pretty good, and then they just don't pan out. But we're right back at it the very next day. But with that being said, we'll get moved over to my core picks for today. So we're going to start off at the pitcher position with Martin Perez, $9,700, a guy that's pitched very, very well so far this season. I believe it's like 9 out of his last 10 starts or 8 out of his last 9 starts have been quality starts. Goes against the Kansas City Royals today. He's kind of had hit or miss history versus these hitters, but he's pitching really well right now. Most of these hitters for Kansas City aren't hitting the best either, so I do like the upside once again today. $9,700, not a bad price tag by any means. Then we're going to move down to second base with Andres Gimenez. You could also play him at shortstop, $2,600. Averaging just under 10 fantasy points per game on the season. Goes against Sonny Gray today. He's 3 for 6 with 1 home run versus him in his career. So I do like the upside that Andres Gimenez does offer today. Guy that's been hitting the ball reasonably well and does hit for some power and some contact as well. Then we're going to move down to shortstop with Carlos Correa. $3,200. Averaging just over 10 fantasy points per game on the season. Goes against Tristan McKenzie of the Cleveland Guardians today. And Carlos Correa hit him pretty well in his career so far, 2 for 5 with 2 home runs versus McKenzie, so definitely a lot of upside there. And McKenzie, oddly enough, the 2 worst games he's had this year have been against the Minnesota Twins. Then we move down to the outfield. We're going to talk about Steven Kwan here real quick at $2,400, averaging about 8.5 fantasy points per game on the season. Guy that's going to hit for a bunch of contact, probably isn't going to give you that ceiling upside with a home run or anything like that, since he only has 1 home run on the year. But a really solid, cheap pay down option today. He's 2 for 5 versus Sonny Gray in his career, so we'll see if he can keep that up once again today. Maybe give us double-digit points at the very least. Then last but not least, we have Giancarlo Stanton, $3,500, averaging just over 11 fantasy points per game on the season. Kind of been a hit or miss year for him. Like, some games have been really good, some games have been not so good. Looking for more of the good side today. Goes against the Oakland A's. Paul Blackburn's pitching today, and he is 2 for 2 versus him in his career. But with that being said, if you go with these 5 players, you have $13,600 remaining, $3,400 per player, so you definitely have some room to pay up for players if that's something you want to do. Or if you want to take a little bit more balanced approach, that's definitely fine today as well. But with that being said, we'll get moved over to my article over at WeBetATS.com and talk about my top GPP stacks for today. So the ones that I do have for today, the Boston Red Sox going against Kevin Gausman. Gausman's been pretty bad 4 out of his last 6 starts. Last one was a little bit better. He's not had the best success versus these Red Sox hitters, so would not be surprised if that continues today. Also, on the other end of that game, if you really want to play the Blue Jays, definitely could play them as well. We didn't know who was going to be starting for the Red Sox today. Looks like it's going to be Connor Seabold, a relatively young and inexperienced pitcher, so could be some upside there as well. Then we have the Cleveland Guardians going against Sonny Gray, and Sonny Gray's not been the best versus this Cleveland team so far this year. A lot of these guys have hit him pretty well in the past, so would not be surprised if that happens once again. Then we have the Angels going against my Chicago White Sox and Lucas Giolito. Giolito has not been pitching very well as of late. Doesn't have the best history against Shohei Ohtani, Mike Trout, Taylor Ward, some of these big hitters for the Angels, so would not be surprised if they have good games once again. And then last but not least, we have the Texas Rangers going against Chris Bubich of the Kansas City Royals. Bubich has not pitched very well so far this season. I know he pitched a little bit better the last time out, but his ERA is still close to 8 at this point in time. But with that being said, these are my core picks as well as top GPP stacks for today, June 27th. As always, if you have any questions related to MLB DFS, be sure to leave them down in the comments below and I'll get back to you as quickly as possible. Also, be sure to let me know your favorite play on today's slate, whether it's someone from my core picks, whether it's someone from my top GPP stacks, or whether it's a completely different player you guys think I missed. Definitely interested in hearing what you have to say. But with that being said, if you are new to my channel, please consider subscribing. Definitely would appreciate it. It helps to build the community that we're trying to build here at Coach Craig Sports, which is one that's truly for you, the viewers, helping you with your DFS, whether it's MLB, that's the main one at this point in time. But once we get back around to the NFL and NBA regular seasons, I'll be covering those two sports as well. And then with that being said, if you're a newer current subscriber who's yet to do so, also be sure to hit that notification bell down below. It's going to let you know every single time I post up a new video. Like I've been saying, I post up daily MLB DFS videos just like this. But with that being said, that's all I have for today's video. Hopefully you all enjoyed. And then last but not least, special little shout out to each and every one of you watching today's video. I truly do appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch this video. Definitely means a lot to me, and I hope each and every one of you has a great rest of your day.